Discover Nicaragua, Central America's most underrated gem. From fiery volcanoes you can actually slide down, to ancient colonial cities still echoing with revolution, Nicaragua is not what you think. It's raw, it's real, and it's one of the most affordable countries on earth to live or travel in. But beneath the surface lies a country full of contrasts. Sharks in freshwater lakes, two oceans, and landscapes so surreal they feel like another planet. On Taste the World with Thomas, we dive deep into the heart of Nicaragua to uncover 25 facts you never knew about culture, prices, people, danger, safety, and secrets the travel guides won't tell you. What you're about to see will change how you look at Central America forever. Fact 1: This city in Nicaragua sinks every year, and people still live there. Every year, the city of Leon sinks, just a little. Built near one of the most geologically active zones in Central America, this historical city rests on shifting volcanic soil. Over time, the combination of underground magma movements and seismic activity has caused parts of Leon to subtly subside. And yet, people don't leave. In fact, they thrive. Leon is Nicaragua's intellectual capital, a university town filled with poets, artists, and revolutionaries. The buildings are cracked, the ground shifts, but life continues. The resilience of its people is part of what makes Leon so captivating. In a world chasing perfection, Leon stands as a reminder that beauty can live in imperfection, too. The ground may move, but the spirit of Leon remains unshakable. Fact 2: The country with two coasts, and two volcanoes you can slide down. Few places on Earth let you wake up to a sunrise on the Caribbean and fall asleep to a sunset on the Pacific. Nicaragua is one of them. This unique country has not just two ocean coasts, but also two volcanoes where adrenaline junkies come to surf on ash. At Cerro Negro, you can strap on a suit and fly down the black volcanic slope at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, 37 miles per hour. It's called volcano boarding, and it's every bit as extreme as it sounds. Nicaragua's dual-coast geography means you can swim in the warm Caribbean in the morning, and be catching Pacific waves by afternoon. Whether you're an adventurer or a beach bum, the country's wild landscape serves up options most nations can only dream of. Two oceans. Two volcanoes. One unforgettable destination. Fact 3: Why Lake Nicaragua has sharks that once terrified the world. Lake Nicaragua isn't just a lake, it's a mystery. It's one of the only freshwater lakes in the world where sharks swim freely. For centuries, locals told stories of terrifying beasts in the water, and outsiders didn't believe them, until scientists discovered bull sharks inside. These fearsome creatures had made their way from the ocean through the San Juan River, adapting to the freshwater environment over generations. At over 8,000 square kilometers, Lake Nicaragua is massive, so massive that it feels like a sea. The presence of sharks gave it a mythical status and once halted plans to turn it into a global shipping canal. Today, bull shark sightings are rare, but the legend lives on. It's just one more way Nicaragua keeps the world guessing. Fact 4: A paradise for digital nomads. Life on $800 a month. If you're looking to escape the high costs of modern living, Nicaragua might be the answer. In cities like Granada or San Juan del Sur, many digital nomads and expats live comfortably on just $800 a month. That includes rent, food, transport, even weekend trips to the beach. Rent for a fully furnished apartment can be as low as $300. Fresh fruits, local meals, and bus rides cost next to nothing. And with high-speed internet increasingly available, remote work becomes not only possible but incredibly affordable. This low-cost lifestyle has made Nicaragua one of Central America's rising stars among budget travelers and retirees. It's not luxury, but it's freedom. And that freedom, surrounded by nature and sunshine, is worth more than a paycheck. Fact 5: the cheapest beachfront living in the Americas? Nicaragua says yes. Imagine waking up just steps from the Pacific Ocean, with waves crashing outside your door and palm trees swaying in the breeze. In Nicaragua, this dream doesn't require millions. In fact, beachfront properties in lesser-known towns like Los Pennies or Pajamo are still shockingly affordable. You can rent a small oceanfront home for under $500 a month. Buy land? Still possible for under $50,000. Compared to skyrocketing prices in Mexico or Costa Rica, Nicaragua offers one of the last true beach bargains in the Western Hemisphere. Of course, it's not for everyone. Access to luxury amenities is limited in rural areas. But if you're after sun, surf, and simplicity, this could be the hidden paradise you've been looking for. Fact 6: this volcano lights up the night sky with real lava. The Masaya volcano is unlike anything you've seen before. Nicknamed La Boca del Infierno, or the Mouth of Hell, it's one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a constantly glowing lava lake. And yes, you can visit it at night. Standing at the edge of its crater, you'll witness molten rock swirling and bubbling below, casting an eerie red light into the sky. It's surreal, unforgettable, and surprisingly accessible. Just a short drive from Managua, Masaya is one of Nicaragua's most popular attractions, but it never feels crowded. You'll feel like you're peering into the heart of the earth. It's beautiful and terrifying at once, and a reminder of the raw, untamed power that makes Nicaragua so different from anywhere else. Fact 7: Nicaraguan women. Culture, beauty, and daily life. Nicaraguan women are known for their strength, elegance, and deep cultural pride. From running small family businesses to leading local communities, they play a central role in everyday life. Beauty here is natural, modest fashion, radiant skin from tropical sunshine, and warm smiles that welcome you into their world. But it's not just appearance. Education among women has grown dramatically, and many now balance work, family, and higher learning with incredible grace. In rural areas, traditional gender roles still exist, but in cities like Managua or Esteli, modern life is reshaping the narrative. Whether they're teaching, farming, or starting online businesses, Nicaraguan women are quietly powerful, and often the real heart of the home. Fact 8: Gallo Pinto for breakfast, and it might cost you less than $1. Wake up in Nicaragua, and chances are your day begins with gallo pinto, rice and beans sautéed with onions, garlic, and spices. It's more than just food, it's a national symbol of identity. Usually served with scrambled eggs, fried plantains, and sometimes a slice of cheese or sour cream, this hearty breakfast fuels millions every morning. But here's the kicker. A full plate at a local eatery might only cost 30 to 50 Cordobas, around $1 to $1.50 USD. In markets, even less. It's cheap, healthy, and delicious. For travelers and locals alike, gallo pinto isn't just a meal. It's a comforting, flavorful way to start the day. And at that price, you might just eat it twice. Fact 9: Why Nicaragua's colonial cities are a retiree's dream. Places like Granada and Leon offer more than history, they offer peace. With their colorful architecture, walkable streets, and low cost of living, Nicaragua's colonial towns have become quiet havens for retirees from around the world. Here, you can buy a renovated colonial home for under $100,000 or rent a charming casita for under $500 a month. Medical care is affordable and improving, especially in larger cities. And the slow pace of life, paired with access to fresh food and friendly neighbors, creates the kind of retirement money can't usually buy. There are no big malls or flashy resorts here. Just hammocks, coffee on the terrace, and cobblestone streets that echo with stories from centuries past. Fact 10. You can cross an ocean and still stay in Nicaragua. Nicaragua is one of the rare countries that touches both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. But what makes it even more fascinating is how different these two worlds feel. On the Pacific coast, you'll find rugged cliffs, golden surf beaches, and lively tourist towns like San Juan del Sur. But cross the country eastward, and everything changes. The Caribbean side, especially the Corn Islands, feels like a different nation altogether. English is more common, reggae fills the air, and the culture has Afro-Caribbean roots rather than Spanish. It's Nicaragua, yes, but it's also something totally unique. One passport, two oceans, and two completely different vibes. That's the magic of this divided paradise. Fact 11. Nicaragua's surf scene is cheaper than a weekend in LA for surfers. Nicaragua is still a best-kept secret. Towns like Popoyo, Playa Maderas, and Playa Colorado offer world-class waves with none of the crowds, and none of the prices you'll find in California or Costa Rica. You can rent a surfboard for $10 a day. Lessons, $20. And accommodation? A basic hostel bed just steps from the ocean costs as little as $8 a night. Even beachside resorts are far cheaper than their international equivalents. The consistent swell, warm water, and laid-back culture have turned Nicaragua into a surf destination for both beginners and pros. But for now, it remains mostly untouched by mass tourism. Come for the waves. Stay for the peace and the price tag. Fact 12. The unique island made entirely of volcanoes. Rising from the middle of Lake Nicaragua is something truly surreal. Ometepe Island, formed by two volcanoes, Concepcion and Maderas, connected by a thin strip of land. It's the only island on Earth shaped like this. One volcano is active and fierce, the other cloud-covered and serene. And yet, life here is calm, slow, and deeply connected to nature. Locals grow plantains, raise animals, and offer eco-friendly stays in family-run hostels. You can hike, kayak, ride motorbikes across jungle paths, or simply swing in a hammock watching the volcanoes breathe. Getting here is an adventure itself, a ferry across a shark-inhabited lake. But once you arrive, you're in a different world. Ometepe doesn't just impress you, it humbles you. Fact 13. No army since 1990, and yet it's one of the safest in the region. Nicaragua hasn't had a standing army since 1990. That's right, no official military force in a region once defined by conflict. After years of civil war and revolution, the government disbanded the army and transitioned security to police and civil defense. And while the country still faces its challenges, Nicaragua is often considered one of the safest countries in Central America, especially outside of the capital. Violent crime rates are lower than in neighboring Honduras or El Salvador, and in rural areas, life flows at a calm, predictable pace. Many locals don't even lock their doors during the day. While political protests and occasional unrest do happen, everyday safety for travelers and residents remains surprisingly stable. A nation with no army, and a quiet kind of peace. Fact 14. How a country with 19 active volcanoes lives in peace. Nicaragua lives on the edge, literally. With 19 active volcanoes stretching down the country's spine, danger is part of the geography. And yet, daily life goes on with astonishing normalcy. Children play soccer in the shadow of lava domes, farmers work fields beneath rumbling mountains, and tourists hike craters that could erupt tomorrow. The people of Nicaragua don't ignore the threat, they've adapted to it. Early warning systems, education, and deep ancestral respect for nature help them coexist with these fiery giants. For locals, volcanoes are not enemies, they're part of the family. They provide fertile soil, tourism income, and even geothermal energy. Living with danger here isn't about fear, it's about resilience. Fact 15: Nicaragua's transportation prices will blow your mind. Getting around Nicaragua is shockingly cheap. You can travel between major cities like Managua and Leon for under $2 USD on local buses. A ride across town? Often less than 50 cents. The famous chicken buses, colorful, repurposed American school buses, aren't just a quirky photo op, they're the beating heart of the country's public transport. They're loud, packed, and maybe a little chaotic, but they get the job done at a fraction of the price you'd expect. Even private taxis are affordable, especially when negotiated in advance. For budget travelers, it means you can see the entire country without breaking the bank. Just be ready to ride alongside chickens, sacks of rice, and grandmas heading to the market. Fact 16: The colorful revolution that still paints the streets. Walk through any Nicaraguan city, and you'll see it. Murals of Che Guevara, Sandino, and the red and black flag of the Sandinista revolution. The legacy of Nicaragua's fight against dictatorship in the 1970s and 80s isn't hidden in museums. It's on the walls, in the graffiti, in the slogans shouted during parades. Political art is everywhere, telling stories of resistance, pride, and sacrifice. For many Nicaraguans, these images are not just history, they're part of their identity. And while politics remain complex and often divisive, the revolutionary spirit lives on through music, poetry, and street culture. Nicaragua doesn't forget its past, it wears it like a badge of honor. Fact 17: Why so many foreigners are buying land in Nicaragua. In recent years, foreigners from the US, Canada, and Europe have quietly started buying up land across Nicaragua. The reasons? Low prices, breathtaking scenery, and minimal restrictions on foreign ownership. In places like San Juan del Sur or the Northern Highlands, you can still purchase ocean view or farmland properties at a fraction of Costa Rica's cost. Some buy to retire. Others invest in eco-lodges, surf hostels, or off-grid homes. The process is surprisingly straightforward, though local legal help is always recommended. While political instability can be a concern, many are willing to take the risk in exchange for what Nicaragua offers: raw beauty, real freedom, and land where dreams are still affordable. Fact 18: Local markets where $5 feeds you like royalty. Step into a local market in Nicaragua, and you'll smell grilled meat, fresh tortillas, and tropical fruit stacked high. But what's truly unbelievable is how far $5 will take you. For less than that, you can get a full meal: grilled chicken, rice, beans, salad, plantains, and a fresh juice, served hot at a street-side comedor. Want dessert? Add a sweet plantain empanada or fresh coconut candy and still have change left. Prices like these aren't just for tourists. They reflect the real cost of living. For locals, markets are where life happens. They're loud, colorful, and full of flavor. And for budget-conscious travelers, they're a goldmine of culture, nutrition, and unbelievable value. Fact 19: From civil war to peaceful paradise in just one generation. In the 1980s, Nicaragua was known for bullets, barricades, and bitter ideological war. Entire towns were torn apart by civil conflict, and the world watched with worry. But fast forward just one generation, and the landscape has changed completely. Many of the same communities that once lived under gunfire now thrive in peace. Children play where soldiers once stood, and the weapons have been replaced with farming tools, paintbrushes, and guitars. The transformation hasn't been perfect. Political tensions still simmer. But everyday life in most of Nicaragua is calm, welcoming, and full of hope. What's perhaps most astonishing is how the country rebuilt, not just its roads and cities, but its spirit. From chaos to calm, Nicaragua's story is one of quiet triumph. Fact 20: the secret freshwater beach town no one talks about. Most travelers head for the Pacific coast, but locals know a different kind of paradise. Near Lake Apoyo, an ancient volcanic crater now filled with turquoise freshwater, lies one of Nicaragua's best-kept secrets. Laguna de Apoyo is calm, clean, and completely swimmable. No waves, no sharks, no crowds. The lake is surrounded by jungle and small eco-resorts, where for under $30 a night, you can sleep in a hammock, paddle a kayak, and watch howler monkeys swing through the trees. It's a perfect blend of relaxation and nature, just 30 minutes from Granada. No salt, no currents, just warm water and peace. For travelers looking for a unique and affordable escape, this freshwater gem is a dream come true. Fact 21: Nicaragua's national drink costs less than a coffee in New York. Meet Flor de Caña, Nicaragua's national rum, and one of the country's proudest exports. Smooth, aged up to 25 years, and internationally award-winning, it's a drink that symbolizes craftsmanship and pride. But here's what will surprise you. A bottle of high-quality 7-year Flor de Caña often costs just $6 to $8 locally. Even a glass of rum and coke at a bar might set you back less than $2. Compare that to a single coffee in New York, and you'll see why travelers stock up. The rum industry also fuels jobs and tourism, with distillery tours showing how sugarcane turns into liquid gold. It's more than just a drink. It's Nicaraguan heritage in a bottle, and one of the best value spirits you'll ever find. Fact 22: why Granada is a colonial jewel frozen in time. Granada isn't just beautiful, it's a living postcard from the Spanish Empire. Founded in 1524, it's one of the oldest colonial cities in the Americas. Cobblestone streets lead to bright yellow churches, horse-drawn carriages clip-clop past pastel mansions, and the pace of life slows to a dreamlike rhythm. But what truly sets Granada apart is how well it's preserved. Despite earthquakes, fires, and war, the city remains remarkably intact. Today, cafes fill former convents, and art galleries bloom behind 400-year-old walls. It's a favorite for expats and tourists alike, but it never loses its Nicaraguan soul. Whether you're sipping coffee in the Central Plaza or sailing to the nearby Isletas, Granada feels like a place where time stood still, for all the right reasons. Fact 23: this country reuses old U.S. school buses in brilliant ways. Ever wonder what happens to old American school buses after they're retired? In Nicaragua, they get a second life. Painted in bold colors, decorated with religious slogans, chrome decals, and even flashing lights, these buses become chicken buses, the main mode of local transport. They're noisy, crowded, and sometimes over the top, but they're also full of character and charm. You'll see school bus yellow vehicles flying down highways packed with people, luggage, and yes, sometimes chickens. It's cheap, it's efficient, and it's deeply woven into the fabric of everyday life. What others throw away, Nicaragua turns into something beautiful and useful. It's public transport, but with attitude. Fact 24: you can live in the mountains and still see the Pacific Ocean. In Nicaragua's northern highlands, around places like Esteli or Jinotega, you can wake up to misty mountains, fresh coffee plantations, and the cool breeze of elevation. But on a clear day, you might also catch a glimpse of the Pacific Ocean shimmering on the horizon. This unique geography means you get the best of both worlds. Cooler mountain living with access to the coast just a few hours away. And prices? Still shockingly low. Mountain homes and farms are available for a fraction of what they'd cost in other countries. Life here is quieter, greener, and more traditional, but never far from the surf and sand. It's an overlooked paradise where your backyard might just touch the sky. Fact 25: Nicaragua's hidden Caribbean side. A world apart. The Caribbean side of Nicaragua feels like another country entirely. Take the Corn Islands, located 70 kilometers off the coast, where turquoise waters meet white sands and reggae beats float through the air. English is widely spoken, Creole and Garifuna cultures thrive, and the vibe is pure island life. While the Pacific coast gets most of the attention, the Caribbean coast is a hidden jewel, far less developed, but rich in charm. Big Corn has small hotels and local eateries, while Little Corn is car-free, peaceful, and perfect for diving or doing absolutely nothing. Life slows to a whisper here. It's not easy to reach, but that's part of the magic. On Nicaragua's Caribbean side, time melts like coconut in the sun. Closing. Nicaragua. The country that surprises at every turn. From volcanoes that glow through the night, to Caribbean islands untouched by time, Nicaragua is a country that defies expectations. It's wild, yet peaceful. Remote, yet welcoming. Cheap, yet rich in experience. Whether you came for the nature, the culture, the affordability, or just the curiosity, you've now seen why Nicaragua might be Central America's most misunderstood gem. But this was only a glimpse. The real magic of Nicaragua lies in its people, their resilience, their warmth, and their ability to turn even the simplest life into something beautiful. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Taste the World with Thomas, where we explore the places travel books overlook, and the truths that postcards never tell. Until next time, stay curious, travel deeper, and never stop tasting the world.